What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video on the channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be figuring out how long Nick Fury and Maria Hill have been the Skrulls, Talos, and his wife. So remember, if you guys like these videos, be sure to subscribe to the channel, as it does help out a lot. Okay, let's just get right into this. So, as everyone probably knows already, in a post-credit scene for Spider-Man Far From Home, we see that Nick Fury and Maria Hill were Skrulls for the duration of the movie, while Nick Fury, and presumably Maria Hill as well, were in space. And you might think that they were only posing as Nick Fury and Maria Hill for that one movie. That was certainly my interpretation when I left the theater, but as I've been thinking about it more, I actually think that Fury might have been a Skrull imposter for much longer than that. So let's look at how we can identify who is the real Fury at any given time. And thankfully we got just that in Captain Marvel. And if you guys are at home saying that, but what if Fury was an imposter during Captain Marvel? Well, I don't think that that's the case, because I get the feeling that that time in Captain Marvel was the first time the Skrulls infiltrated Earth, and also Fury kills a Skrull in the movie, and I don't think that he would do that if he was a real if he was a Skrull, because he could just shapeshift and say, oh, we're on the same side. So now that we've established that Nick Fury was a real human in Captain Marvel, we actually get a great scene where we see Captain Marvel explain how the Skrull's powers work and Nick Fury's defining qualities that he tells to Captain Marvel to show that he's not a Skrull. And while we got some great information, like Fury had a pet named Mr. Snoofers.
Name your first pet.
Mr. Snoofers.
Mr. Snoofers.
That's what I said.
The real information that we care about is when he says that if a toast is cut diagonally, he can't eat it.
A toast is cut diagonally, I can't eat it.
So if we can find a good spot in the MCU where Nick Fury is eating diagonally cut toast, or he is specifically avoiding eating diagonally cut toast, then we got something that we can work with to identify which Nick Fury it was, the real Nick Fury or the Skrull. So now Nick Fury only eats toast once in the MCU. Maybe I missed something, but I'm pretty sure he's only eaten once, and that is in Age of Ultron when he visits the Avengers on Hawkeye's farm. And while most people think that he is eating diagonally cut toast, I have looked at it frame by frame, and it does not look like he's eating diagonally cut toast. I honestly think it's pretty clear that it's horizontally cut toast, and I don't understand why everyone thinks it's diagonal. So that doesn't help us out too much. But we also have another crucial bit of information regarding Nick Fury, and it was actually used to identify the Skrull Talos, who would later go on to impersonate Fury. And it was the moment where Talos called Fury Nick, and Fury knew at once that Talos was an imposter. This is because earlier on in the movie, Fury says that everyone calls him Fury, not Nick, not Nicholas, just Fury. So we can look back at all the times someone has called him Nick, and then we can find out when he was a Skrull. So let's work backwards from the latest MCU movies. At the very start of the movie, and this would be the Spider-Man Far From Home movie, when Maria Hill and Nick Fury are investigating the sand monster, Maria Hill says, Nick, this was a tragedy, but it's not why we're here.
Nick, this was a tragedy, but it's not why we're here.
And I think that line was put in there to alert us that Fury was a Skrull. After all, Captain Marvel didn't even come out a year from that point, so it was fresh in everyone's head. Looking at the Fury that appeared at the end of Endgame, no one really called him anything or even spoke to him, so we don't really know if he was a Skrull then. But in Infinity War, and this is sidetracking a bit because the evidence is about Maria Hill, not Fury, when Nick and Maria are talking in the post-credit scene about the energy signatures over Wakanda, Maria Hill talks with a bit of an accent when she says Wakanda.
Multiple bogeys over Wakanda.
So this could be a nod to the Skrull, and maybe Talos' wife slipped up a little bit while talking to Talos and knew that no one else was around, It is certainly possible that the accent that Maria Hill speaks with is Talos' wife's accent, but she keeps it hidden when trying to impersonate Maria Hill. But that isn't clear-cut evidence, so let's keep moving on. Though in the same post-credit scene, when the car without a driver is crashing into Maria Hill, or crashing into them, not Maria Hill, Maria Hill shouts, "Nick, Nick." Now that is something that we can work with. This shows that Maria Hill developed a tendency for calling Fury Nick, which wouldn't have happened if the Fury that was there was the real Fury. So yeah, they are imposters in this scene. That means that Nick Fury that dusted away was actually Talos, which means that the Nick Fury that attended Tony Stark's wedding was also Talos because he would be the one that just got snapped back onto Earth. On a completely different note, I just want to answer the simple question of if the Nick Fury we saw die on screen in Infinity War wasn't the real Nick Fury, then did the real Nick Fury die in the snap? And I have to say yes, just because he doesn't show up on Earth after the snap happens and doesn't meet up with Captain Marvel to let her know that he's still alive. So yeah, I think that both Nick Furies got snapped away. Talk about bad luck. So we've determined that Nick Fury and Maria Hill were at least Skrulls in 2018 and beyond during the events of Infinity War. So it's possible that between Age of Ultron and Infinity War, Nick Fury and Talos swapped places. But let's look into it deeper and look at the appearance in Age of Ultron. During the barn scene in Hawkeye's farm, we talked about earlier, no one referenced him as Nick, and no one even referenced him as Fury. Natasha only references him as Boss.
Unknown.
Well, this is good times, boss, but I was kind of hoping when I saw you, you'd have more than that.
But during the helicarrier scene, Cap says, "Fury, you son of a bitch."
Fury, you son of a bitch.
Notice that he refers to him as Fury and not Nick. So this could be the real Fury, but let's look even deeper than that. In Captain America: The Winter Soldier, we see Alexander Pierce say, "I'm glad you're here, Nick."
I'm glad you're here, Nick.
Which means that this was not the real Fury. Good lord, how long has this man been posing as Fury? Now, looking at his appearance in Avengers, I feel like we finally got a winner. Cap refers to him as Sir, and a member of the World Security Council, Gideon Malik, calls him Director. And as far as I can tell, and please tell me if I'm missing anything, I don't think anyone calls him Nick in all of his next few appearances in Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, the First Avenger, and the Avengers. So I think we finally got our winner. Nick Fury swapped with Talos after Avengers and before Winter Soldier. And that makes a lot of sense. First of all, he was able to survive several bullet wounds to the heart in Captain America and the Winter Soldier. That I feel like no real human would be able to survive from. And what do we see Nick Fury doing in Spider-Man Far From Home, the post-credit scene? He is on a space station, and this totally works because what happened in the Avengers? An alien army invaded the planet. So Nick Fury would have saw the need to build a defense against that, just as Tony Stark tried to do later. And he created the Initiative Sword to defend against interterrestrial threats like the one that invaded New York. Honestly, I like this answer a lot. It just fits into the timeline so well and gives a reason on why Fury is in space working on Sword. Well, anyways, that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy, and if you guys did, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Too easy!